Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Countdown to Tip-Off. I'm Andrew Joyce, EKB Sports Director, as we're set to bring you another edition of a spotlight on high school basketball. We'll look back at last week's key games around the area. We'll take a look at player highlights as well. We'll hear from the coaches. We'll hear from some of our players of the games from games played last week. And of course, we'll take a look at key matchups coming up this week, including some action from our games of the week. And we'll get an update on U-Pike basketball as the Bears are off to one of their best starts in program history, currently ranked third in the nation. We'll get things started with this edition of Countdown to Tip-Off, presented by Pikeville Medical Center, with a recap of last week's action. Early last week, Allen Central handled Prestonsburg in a 58th district showdown, 67-61. It was Paintsville, 57-56 over crosstown rival Johnson Central. Last Thursday, the Belfry Pirates made some noise in the region with a 95-93 overtime win over Lawrence County. Garrett Fannin led the Pirates with 30 points in that win. On Friday, Pike Central got a 68-43 win over Prestonsburg, and Shelby Valley defeated Eastridge 60-44. Other action Friday, Betsy Lane with a hard-fought double overtime win over South Floyd 68-66. Then on Saturday, Pikeville and Johnson Central, the Panthers on the road, and it was all Eagles in this one. 72-58, Mason Blair led Johnson Central with 19 points. And at the Shelby Valley Sports Center, the Wildcats fell to Perry Central 95-70. The Commodores get the win in that 14th, 15th region showdown. Also on Saturday at the historic Williamson Fieldhouse, the Hatfield and McCoy shootout. Eastridge with a hard-fought 40-25 win over Tulsa, West Virginia, in a game that featured defensive prowess from each team. It was Phelps 72-67 over Hannon, West Virginia. Christian Mounts led the way with a double-double, 22 points and 14 rebounds for the Hornets. Chase Parsley had 25 points in Sheldon Clark's 62-54 win over Valley View. Pike Central's Ethan Blackburn, the big guy, with a double-double, 15 points, 11 rebounds, along with Braxton Tibbs, 15 points. Pike Central defeats the Man Hillbillies 66-61. It was Mingo Central rolling over Belfry in front of a capacity crowd at the Fieldhouse, 80-61. The Miners win it. Dikembe Dixon with 33 points to lead Mingo Central. And in other action from earlier this week, Allen Central shocked Paintsville 54-53. That's a recap of action, key games from throughout the area last week. Still to come, player spotlights. We'll highlight some individual performances. Of course, we'll have our player of the week presented by Hutch Chevrolet. We'll have a spotlight on the University of Pikeville men's basketball program. We'll hear from coaches, we'll hear from players, and lots more highlights on the way as we count down to tip-off, your weekly high school basketball spotlight show presented by Pikeville Medical Center. Welcome back to Countdown to Tip-Off, a presentation of EKB TV. I'm Andrew Joyce, Sports Director at EKB, as we spotlight players throughout the region and spotlight high school basketball. Of course, with high school basketball in the mountains, we also focus on the University of Pikeville, and we'll update you on U-Pike action throughout the course of the season on Countdown to Tip-Off. We've got this week's update on the University of Pikeville Bears, currently ranked third in the nation, off to one of the best starts in program history at 18-1. Let's check out your U-Pike Bears.
Head coach Kelly Wills and the U-Pike men's basketball team on a 12-game win streak climbed to number 3 in the nation in the latest NAIA coaches poll. The Bears came from behind to beat Lindsey Wilson earlier in the week 89-86. Wells says it was nice to get the win and his team can learn a lot from the game.
They're very physical, they run their stuff well, and we had a hard time guarding them, but I was proud of our guys in the second half. We rallied, started getting the tempo back where we needed it to be, and then closed the game out the right way at the end. We became aggressive. We weren't shooting it great, weren't shooting it bad, but we got the double bonus early in the second half and really capitalized on getting to the rim. But we've got to continue to grow. We got to continue to get better, and we got to eliminate the dumb plays. We've got a lot of dumb plays going on that we've got to eliminate.
The Bears are 18-1 overall, with that one loss being to Campbellsville, the #1 ranked team in the nation. Not bad. The team is actually in action as we speak over at the East Kentucky Expo Center. So after this show, head over there for the second half. I'm Caleb No. This is Countdown to Tip-Off on EKB TV. Back to you, Andrew.
Thanks so much. U-Pike hosting Ohio Christian Thursday at the Expo Center. Coming up Saturday, Life University, a guaranteed great matchup as the Flying Eagles will take on your U-Pike Bears. The women tip off at 2, the men at 4 at the East Kentucky Expo Center. U-Pike in action Saturday. Also, one of our highlight games from last week, a 14th region matchup taking on one of the top teams from the 15th region, Perry County Central and Shelby Valley. They've battled many times over the years. This one got ugly as Perry Central played one of their best games of the year. Here are the highlights.
I'm Chelsea Lucas. This is Shelby Valley Basketball on EKB TV. CATS. Cats!
Shelby Valley's won 7 of its last 8. Perry Central 4-1 in 14th region play, with that one loss coming against Knott County Central, a top 5 team in the state of Kentucky. The big question here is, can Shelby Valley shut down Braxton Beverly? Perry's junior guard averages 25 points a game and shoots 49% from the field, an absolute force offensively. But Valley has playmakers too. Michael Fields and Dalton Richardson can stretch out a defense with perimeter shooting, opening up the lane for the guys inside. First quarter, Corey Hamilton cutting backside. Hey man, hoop me! The assist from Richardson, a smooth operator. Valley still down 10-6 early, and out of a timeout, Perry Central will answer. Good ball movement, isolating Matthew Turner all alone. A 3-point basket stretching out the early lead to 7. Dalton Richardson led the Cats' scoring efforts. Off the inbound play, drops in 3 of his 18 points right there. And check this out, under 10 seconds left to go in the first. Really kind of the story of the night for Shelby Valley. Lamont Wright passes inside to Hunter Swindle. The ball almost sets on the rim and stops, but then falls out. Things just seem to be going Perry Central's way. And here's Braxton Beverly. Grabs the steal, and he's going coast to coast. He's going to the bucket. Beverly was our player of the game.
We got a week off. We haven't played in a week, so we had tough 5-6 days of practice. So we want to come back here and get back on track. I think we'd be a really good contender for region. You know, I mean, we have to play with the intensity we play with tonight. So if we can come out every night playing like we did tonight, I think we can make some noise.
Beverly finished with 33 points on the night. Back to the action we go. Fields drives right side and gets the friendly roll, but it's 26-13 Perry Central. Down on the other side, Austin Neese was sharp. 3-ball, splash. Neese finished with 9 points, all 3-pointers, this time in transition off the assist from James Blair in the corner. Swish again, and the Commodores continue to stretch the lead. Score at the half, 44-29, Perry Central on top. Late in the game, Fields finds Corey Hamilton for a deep ball in the corner. You just can't give Shelby Valley open shots outside. And I'm not really sure what you call this, but as time expires, Cameron Hamilton drops in a 3-point runner. Nice shot. Perry Central does get the victory, however. Final score 95-70. We got a chance to check in with Shelby Valley head coach Jim Hicks afterward.
Well, we've got to get a little more fire to us. You know, we showed signs of it tonight, but we didn't battle tonight the way we're capable of. We're a much better team than what we showed tonight. You know, we call this adversity a little bump in the road. We just got to learn from it and take tomorrow off and get back in here Monday and get back to work and then come in here and play a really good Betsy Lane team on Tuesday night and hopefully do a little better.
Shelby Valley falls to 12-6 overall with the loss, but the Wildcats remain second place in the 15th region. Still plenty of basketball left to play this season, a couple of 15th region matchups upcoming, and the Toyota Classic opens up this weekend in Scott County. I'm Caleb No for EKB Sports. Let's send it back to Andrew in the studio on the Hill.
That's Perry Central winning big over Shelby Valley, a game that the Commodores shot lights out at the Sports Center. In another key game from last week, a 58th district matchup, the Prestonsburg Blackcats taking on Pike County Central, one of the hottest teams in the 15th region. We'll go to the highlights now.
Pike Central an even 500 at 9-9 coming into this one. Prestonsburg at 4-8 overall. The Hawks outscore Prestonsburg by 7 points a game and out-rebound the Black Cats 31-23 on average per game this season. But it's 15th region basketball and it's EKB's game of the week. Pike Central will score first, and let me just say this is good basketball. Watch as the ball's rotated around the right side. Big guy Ethan Blackburn will draw the backside forward across the lane, creating all this space for Andrew Fields to operate. Brad Elkins finds him on the cut. Fields takes full advantage of it, drawing the foul, turning it into 3 points. Exactly how you draw it up. Good start for Pike Central. Blackburn was only a rebound away from a double-double on the night, 10 points, 9 boards. One of those 9 boards right here. That's what 6'8", 270 does for you. Down in the front court, Teddy Smith had a big night for Pike Central. Makes this one count on the baseline off the assist from Braxton Tibbs. Smith made 6 of 11 shots on the night, leading the Hawks with 14. Prestonsburg would answer on the other end. Chaitlin Gerald, Jaron Hall, driving, jumper, I ran out of J words, but it's 5-5 on the scoreboard. Prestonsburg hanging in it early. Pike Central would go on a 19-9 run, but then Hall finds the baseline, and how did he even get the shot off? Not sure, but he would make it count for 3 with an extra foul shot. Score at the half, 34-21 Pike Central. Third quarter, Drake Nunnery draws a double team and finds Peaburg's leading scorer on the season, Dalton Frazier, backside for 2. The Hawks only outscored the Black Cats 16-13 in the third quarter. Pike Central would seal it in the fourth, winning by a final score of 68-43. Pike Central improves to 10-9 on the season. Prestonsburg falls to 4-9. I'm Caleb No for EKB Sports. Back to you, Andrew.
That's Pike Central, one of the hottest teams in the area with a big win over Prestonsburg. We have more to come on this edition of Countdown to Tip-Off, including individual performances from last week's action, and we'll name this week's Hutch Chevrolet Player of the Week. Some great individual performances, and we'll also spotlight another 60th District regular season matchup, the Pike Central Hawks and Belfry Pirates. When they get together, typically it's a dandy. We'll have that coming up, and we'll spotlight key games coming up this week on Countdown to Tip-Off, presented by Pikeville Medical Center. Welcome back to Countdown to Tip-Off, presented by Pikeville Medical Center. Andrew Joyce, Sports Director at EKB, and it's time to take a look at our player spotlight performances. Players nominated for Hutch Chevrolet Player of the Week honors this week. And coming up, we'll have your Hutch Chevrolet Player of the Week. He does it often. He leads the Sheldon Clark Cardinals. Chase Parsley had 39 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals in a win over Betsy Lane last week. Speaking of the Bobcats, Peyton Case. He's a regular on Countdown to Tip-Off. 38.7 rebounds and 6 of 11 from three-point range in an overtime win over South Floyd. Ethan Blackburn of Pike Central, 27 points, 14 rebounds. That's a double-double in the win over Lawrence County. Devin Horn of Allen Central tossed in 25 points, 6 of 13 from three-point range in the win over Prestonsburg. It's the first win over the Black Cats since 2012 for Allen Central. Andrew Tackett of South Floyd is nominated this week after 23 points and 8 rebounds in a win over Magoffin County and 22 points and 7 boards in the overtime loss to Betsy Lane. Garrett Fannin of Belfry came alive with 30 points in the Pirates' win over Lawrence County for his nomination. Also, Pikeville's Zach Huffman, 29 points on 10 of 12 shooting. He had a double-double, 10 rebounds as well in the Panthers' win over Shelby Valley. And finally, our Hutch Chevrolet Player of the Week comes from Johnson Central. Braxton Blair had 13 points and 4 assists in a win over Pikeville. Record holders typically will be nominated for Player of the Week honors. How about a career all-time assist leader at Johnson Central? Braxton Blair breaks the record now with 430 career assists and counting. That's a record that had stood since 1979. Braxton Blair of Johnson Central, your Hutch Chevrolet Player of the Week. Another key game, another EKB TV Game of the Week of 60th District regular season showdown. The Belfry Pirates taking on the Pike Central Hawks at the Hawks Nest. It was our EKB TV Game of the Week. Let's check out the highlights.
60th District, Pike Central on a 4-game winning streak, but Belfry 2-0 in district play and first place in the district coming into this one. Pike Central would score first on a big post move from Ethan Blackburn, but watch how Belfry answers. Joe Kinzer had the call on the floor.
Leading rebounder of the season. Garrett Fannin, dribble drive, left side Price. There's a three. Good and a foul by Andrew Fields. Price going to the free throw line for the 4-point.
Price did a good job selling it, but the replay proves it was a good call. Trey Price would knock down the free throw for the all-so-rare 4-point play. Midway through the opening quarter, game tied. Andrew Fields down the floor to Brad Elkins. A 3-ball in transition? Money! But down at the other end, Garrett Fannin had quite a night. 3 here. And again, this time, Austin Woolham with a sweet little wraparound pass, finding Fannin in the same exact spot. Bang! Fannin had almost half of Belfry's points on the night with 31. But right at the end of the first, Belfry up 1. Fields with the board down the floor to Elkins. Did he get the shot off? Check it out. Elkins releases the ball right there. Still 0.2 of a second left on the clock, and the Hawks lead 21-20 after a quarter. Second quarter, Elkins right side to Hunter Clark. Both teams on fire from the perimeter. Fannin answers on the other end with this tray from the top of the key, but Elkins and Braxton Tibbs will exploit Belfry's defense right here. Notice how packed in Belfry is in the zone. Tibbs gets him with a front door cut on the baseline. Hawks by 8. Belfry fights back to within 5. Time running out in the first half. Got to get something off. Who do you go to? You guessed it. Fannin, ice cold. 2-point game at the half. Pike Central on top, 39-37. But the third quarter would be all Pike Central, outscoring the Pirates by 11. Cross-court pass from Fields. The zone rotates, but not fast enough. Elkins gets the shot off quick, and it's right on the money. Tibbs tabbed a double-double, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 2 of those points, and 1 big board here. Check out the defensive play by Elkins. It's a man defense with help tendencies. Huge separation between him and his man Woolham. 7 or 8 feet, but makes an athletic move to the ball, grabs the steal, and takes it coast to coast for 2. Late in the game, Nathan Copley would chip in for Belfry with this deep floater, but it wouldn't be enough to lift the Pirates past the Hawks. Final score, 82-68. Pike Central improves to 12-9. Belfry falls to 4-11. But I'll say this, Belfry, one of the better 4-11 teams we've seen in a while. Only 14 points separating Belfry from a winning record, with 4 of their losses being by 3 points or less. I'm Caleb Noe on Countdown to Tip-Off. Our own Joe Kinzer was courtside for EKB TV's Game of the Week.
The Pike County Central Hawks has now won 6 of their last 7 ball games as they defeat their district opponent tonight, the Belfry Pirates, by the final score of 82-68. Senior guard for the Hawks, Braxton Tibbs, our player of the game, 25 points and 12 rebounds. Garrett Fannin, the junior for the Belfry Pirates, had 31 points. Now let's talk to the head coach of the Pike County Central Hawks, Keith May. Hey, the Pike County Central Hawks 82-68 victory tonight over the Belfry Pirates. Coach, what was the difference in this ball game?
I'll be honest, I think the third quarter was a big difference. We come out with a lot more intensity in the third quarter and kind of took it to the basket. And our inside game between Ethan and Braxton was just tremendous tonight. We just ask them to continue to do that every night, and we'll be in great shape.
The Hawks, your ball club, looking to run up and down the floor.
Yes, we are. We can play the half-court game. We can play the up-and-down court if we need to. We have some tremendous athletes here. And, we can actually go 10, 11 deep and not have to really worry too much about losing a lot besides maybe some size. But we don't mind to run with anybody.
2-1 on the season now in the district. You still had 3 more district games left, a lot of basketball remaining. How important was this win tonight?
Very important. They actually, if you look at KHSAA, they got us a loss against Lawrence in that PIT. Right now we're 3-0 in our district. Belfry's 2-1 now. Lawrence 1-2, which is still a scary team if they get their whole team back. And Phelps is no slouch at 0-3 in it right now. They come here Friday night and it's going to be a battle again here.
And thanks, Coach. Let's now talk to our player of the game, Braxton Tibbs. Braxton Tibbs, our player of the game, 25 points, 12 rebounds here tonight. Braxton, what was it out there that the reason why that you was able to have such a successful game tonight against the Belfry Pirates?
Well, they keyed on Andrew because he had a great game against them in the district last year. And my team, we just had great transition. We fed the ball to the open man. We had mismatches all night.
Seemed like that you guys were looking and trying to pound the ball inside.
Yeah, we're trying to take advantage of our size. And we just tried to pound it to me and Ethan all night.
What's different now with you guys? 6 or 7 games you've won now.
Well, chemistry's a lot better, and our team's just starting to come along. Everybody's knowing the roles, and everybody's knowing what they have to do.
Thanks so much. Pike Central wins it 82-68 over Belfry. Braxton Tibbs, the player of the game, 25 points, 12 rebounds for the double-double. Garrett Fannin of Belfry had 31 in the losing effort. That's our games from last week. Spotlight on individual games and individual performances. And it's time in Countdown to Tip-Off that we begin the countdown to some key games coming up throughout the area this weekend and beyond. How about on Tuesday? Some key games from the 60th District. Phelps will be at Belfry. Lawrence County goes to Pike Central. And a 59th District regular season showdown with district seeding on the line. Pikeville will be at Shelby Valley. Coming up next Thursday, the Wildcats of Logan, West Virginia travel to Belfry to take on the Pirates. Sheldon Clark will be at Paintsville in 57th District action. And our games coming up next week. Pikeville at Eastridge. You'll hear it on the Oldies Radio Network. On Friday, Phelps will be at Pike Central. Hear it on Z1075. And Allen Central goes to South Floyd in a 58th District showdown. Complete coverage on ESPN Radio. ESPN East Kentucky, 95.9, 104.5 FM. You've been tuned to Countdown to Tip-Off, presented by Pikeville Medical Center. It's a complete show focusing on high school basketball, individual performances. We thank all the coaches that took part in interviews during this edition and our Player of the Week nominations and the players of the game that we were able to speak to as well. Be sure and tune in again next week to Countdown to Tip-Off, presented by Pikeville Medical Center. I'm Andrew Joyce. Thanks for tuning in.
They go alley-oop, one alley-oop.